What do we have for Taurus? The moon, Pisces energy at the foundation of the reading, Taurus. Taurus, there's something going on inside your energy where I feel you are starting to see somebody in a light that you had never seen them in before, or maybe it was always there, but you had never quite processed it. Now, this can really speak about somebody telling you who they are, right? And maybe you take it as a joke, but then as time goes on, you start to realize that what this person said about themselves was actually very true. It's like somebody joking about being bipolar or needing to be the center of attention. And then you begin to realize that, yes, that's actually very true. This person is like that. But you only begin to realize these things because they've weaponized these things against you. Now, one of the messages that I got before this reading, which I feel is connected to this moon, is that you have been dealing with somebody who has been shifting the goalposts on you. Now, this is a narcissistic tactic where people will constantly change the expectations or the criteria needed to gain their approval or validation, making it impossible to ever fully satisfy them because they keep shifting the goalposts, no matter what you do to try and meet their demands, their standards. This can speak about matters in your career, creative projects, romantic relationships, family dynamics. But I would go as far as saying that there's probably not a single one of you out there that hasn't dealt with this at least one time in your life. And though I've heard the term moving the goalposts before, I was never able to directly connect it to something that narcissists will use, much like gaslighting or narcissistic projection, which are all tactics used to keep you chasing your tail and making you feel like you have done something wrong. There's a struggle for power dynamics here that I don't even think you knew about, Taurus. It's like somebody competing with you behind your back, in the shadows, so to speak, which is this moon card. All right, so something here is being brought out into the light now. You are starting to see this within somebody. You're starting to see that quite possibly this person wasn't your friend. They weren't a loyal coworker. They weren't a family member that you can trust. They're not a loving romantic partner. They're in competition with you, which there's probably not anything worse than that, having a partner that's in competition with you. But it also speaks about something within you, Taurus, that I feel needs addressing, needs healing. There's some shadow work there, and it all has to do with a recognition of your self-worth. See, on my path, I have had plenty of evidence that we attract into our lives what the universe is trying to get us to fix within ourselves. So if we have a lack of self-worth, then we're going to attract people into our life that exacerbates that as a means for us to bring attention to it, just like what we are getting here. I feel that you may be dealing with somebody, Taurus, who is trying to take from you what is rightfully yours, but you're going to catch this if you haven't already, and it's going to really bring forward some sort of recognition as to how far you have truly come on your path. It's like you catch it, you nip it in the bud, and you say to yourself, wow, had that have been a few years ago, I might have just let it happen. But because I'm the person I am now, because of the amount of spiritual growth that I've gone through in recent years, there's absolutely no way that I'm ever going to allow somebody to put me through this again. So this can be a kind of test, right? But it's a good test because that recognition leaves you with something very beautiful, very powerful. And it also is exactly what you need, Taurus, to help elevate you to the next level. In almost every reading I do, I mention that when we have these sort of challenges or we have these dips in our energy, they are a clear sign of what we may be actually coming into. So I believe that when you hit some lulls, you hit some resistance, it's because you are about to have a blessing come into your life. You're about to level up. You're about to ascend into the next timeline. There's many different ways that we can phrase it. So you really take it as it fits for your own set of circumstances. But this is what I'm picking up here, Taurus. And when you recognize this, after you hear this message, if you haven't gone through this already, you're going to actually feel a sense of excitement for recognizing it and realizing that this situation you're going through is the literal key for you to access this new level in the game. And then right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Cups, Scorpio energy. Okay, so there's very clearly this sense that you are moving on from someone, from something, And then this person here is sort of feeling sorry for themselves. But this is not you, Taurus. These people here represent you, represent your energy. All right. It's like you leave this person lying in the bed that they thought they had made for you, however that shows up in regards to your situation with what you may be going through. What do we have at the sacral, please? Eight of Wands, Sag energy at the sacral. Perfect. This follows the message that I'm getting here for all of you. The Eight of Wands speaks about very quick movement that you are now beginning to make after you release yourself from this energy. Now, they're highlighting here you releasing yourself from this energy as opposed to this energy releasing itself from you. Okay, now I feel that you're going to be the one who has to take the bull by the horns here, Taurus. And that pun was definitely intended, Taurus, because it makes perfect sense with the message we're getting here. I feel that you releasing this person is going to be what enables you to shift the power dynamic back in your favor. And typically, if a message similar to this came through, I would say, hey, who cares who has the power dynamic, right? But in this situation, it seems to matter. Now, if this is in regards to your career or some sort of creative project, I could see how this would be relevant because it seems to be that you have something to lose, right? There's something that you have been putting your time, energy, and effort into. But no matter how you slice this, Taurus, this situation is leaving you with something useful. You're better for having gone through all of this than had you not. It's like somebody saying to you, okay, Taurus, you got to run 7 miles to this location and you have to pick up this item. And then you have to run another 5 miles this way. And then you have to go 7 miles that way. And then when you're all done, you got to make it back here and you would have accomplished the task at hand. So you do all this, right? Just another way of really speaking about having to jump through hoops for somebody, only to realize that the person was sending you on a wild goose chase. And even though you've lost some time, you've probably lost a whole lot of energy and patience, maybe even money, your physical conditioning has improved 100-fold. Your skill level is through the roof. It's as if the divine saw this devil and the games they were playing with you and said, okay, you want to play this game with one of my chosen? All right, let's play. Right? So the divine allows it to happen, knowing that when all is said and done, you are going to come out like you have been carved out of the rock of Gibraltar, however that shows up for you. And I'm getting an emphasis here surrounding, again, physical conditioning and also skill level. And I don't think that this opposing force even really thought about this. It might even be that they don't even know what they're really doing. There seems to be some sort of psychological issue with this other individual that I'm picking up on, or individuals. I'm hearing that somebody is so entangled with their own ego that this is just something that they do to everybody without even really realizing it until they get called out on it. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? 5 of Pentacles. Taurus, that is your energy at the solar plexus. And this reinforces what I said about the shadow work, how there's a gift amongst all of this, how all of these obstacles and challenges that you've just had to go through to get to this point are going to serve you. 5 of Pentacles speaks about shadow work, but it also speaks about deeply embedded insecurities within yourself, which are falling under that umbrella of the shadow work. So there's something here that you were lacking before this situation, Taurus, that you are no longer lacking, which again directly connects to going on that wild goose chase, right? The divine saw an opportunity here to really empower you, to really level you up, and they decided to take it. See, this is one of these rare opportunities when a devilish individual will come into your life trying to create some sort of chaos or stagnation on your path, and they may think that they're getting a win over you when all the while the divine is using them as a means to level you up from behind the scenes. I also feel that you have something that this opposing energy wants for themselves, and it could quite possibly be that they were trying to create some sort of power dynamic here, take advantage of you for your kindness, and then ruin or flat out take something that they want for themselves. I just heard never again. So once you're through this situation, this will be the last time that anything like this will ever happen again to you, Taurus. There's massive lessons that you are learning through this without even possibly even realizing it yet. I feel that this is one of these situations where you get on the other side of it and you're like, wow, I just learned a huge lesson. I just went through all of that, but look what I have now. It's in these moments that you really start to see the magic that is the way the universe turns the gears in our life. It's in these moments that you start to realize that when you are in alignment with your true north, anything is possible. And when you are making yourself a readily available vessel for the divine, the sky's the limit. And Taurus, when I was collecting my downloads and notes before the reading, I actually wrote down, I'm here to encourage you to keep going because they want you to give up, okay? And I feel that that message fits perfectly into what I'm getting here. So whatever it is, okay, do not give up, Taurus. If anything, go in harder. And for some of you, you're going to feel frustrated hearing that, because there's something here that you have been working on or moving towards for an obscene amount of time. You've put in unimaginable amounts of energy into this thing. And there you were thinking you were right on the precipice of having the breakthrough, and the divine's like, wait, hold on. We got to fix something before we step through to the other side, right? What needs to be fixed is this power dynamic shift. That energy needs to be released. You need to rearrange a couple things, and then you step through. However, in saying all this, Taurus, all of this aligns with the astrology precisely, because right now we're sort of getting a little closer to the end of all these retrogrades. And as you know, retrogrades are a time when we're being encouraged to review certain things, improve upon things. And so many of you out there in the collective have been working towards these things for a very long time, but it's not quite time yet. All right. There's windows of opportunity that are coming up in the next couple of months. So don't be hard on yourself here. Take the opportunity to improve these things. Okay. And in the coming months, 1, 2, 3 months, that's when you're going to start having the breakthrough. And it's all going to make sense to you. And then sure enough, right on the bottom of the deck, I have the star. Okay. So being in the spotlight of your life in regards to whatever this is here for you. Okay. What do we have at the heart, please, Spirit? 6 of Pentacles, Taurus, that is your energy again at the heart. So we go from the 5 to the 6 of Pentacles. So we're starting to see a progression forward now. And see how here you are dealing with the shadow work, right? And then all of a sudden here you are moving forward, and it's like the divine is giving you something. Yes, good job, Taurus. You have passed the test. You are now ready to step through into the new timeline. And it almost looks as if this other energy here is like, no, please, don't take my pentacles away from me. And you're like, oh my God, thank you. It's like there's a shift in the power dynamic here. And right there, he's holding the scales as well. I just heard the first will be last and the last shall be first. Yeah, there's definitely a big message here about scales tipping in your favor. There's also something about this energy, Taurus, and this probably goes without saying, but I'm picking up on coveting, okay? I feel that this individual may be envious of you, which goes back to what I said about them feeling like you have something that should be theirs. I'm also hearing something about this energy trying to ride off your coattails. What do we have at the throat, please? Temperance, Sag energy at the throat. So we've got Pisces, Sag, and Taurus energy on the table. You could be dealing with the Sag, but I feel that it's more you're coming into Sag kind of energy, right? Sag energy comes after Scorpio energy. So 8th house of Scorpio to 9th house of Sag. You are transforming and rising up out of the ashes in the 8th house of Scorpio, and then you are shifting into the 9th house of Sag and busting out back on the scene or stepping back out into the world. Take it as it fits. But that's really what Sag energy is. And Temperance also speaks about you being in alignment with your purpose. You've had to put in a lot to get to this point, Taurus. This has not been an easy path at all. But there seems to be a very clear message here now where you're coming into alignment with this creation of yours. Both of these cards speak about balance. And that Five of Pentacles is really the opposite kind of energy. It can definitely represent an imbalance. And see how it's right there at the solar plexus as well? Solar plexus is all connected to your confidence. So they're really highlighting how this energy here, right, of this power dynamic is something that has been holding you back. So by you regaining the power here, you're able to extract the necessary ingredients that you need, spiritually speaking, to push through into this new chapter of your life. And then we have the Eight of Swords on the bottom of the deck, Gemini energy. So an energy of breaking free, freedom, liberation. Two of Pentacles, it's like you're between worlds. And the Magician. The vision is finally coming to reality. What do we have at the third eye, please? Queen of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sag energy at the third eye. So we got a lot of fire on this table. Sag, okay? But I just feel like this is the energy, male or female, that you are really being encouraged to harness at this time. Queen of Wands is an energy of self-mastery. It's somebody who's very dedicated to their path, to their craft, to this thing they're manifesting into their life. And they're also understanding that with greatness always comes a certain kind of resistance. But by getting on the other side of the resistance and understanding it for what it truly is, you're able to transmute that energy to help catapult you into a higher vibrational timeline. So you're essentially using the tactics that this opposing force tries to use on you in your favor. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Wands again. Okay, so we have that from two different decks now. And then the Five of Swords. So this is you basically transmuting this energy that this enemy is trying to send into your life. I'm picking up on betrayal here as well, Taurus. I feel like you might have been dealing with somebody who smiles in your face, but behind your back, it's a whole other story, Taurus. There seems to be some sense of loss that is connected to this new breakthrough that you're going to have, which doesn't surprise me at all. There's always something you have to sacrifice in order to get a breakthrough, something that isn't serving your highest good. But I feel that what is being sacrificed here is this opposing energy. Maybe there's somebody that you were trying to involve in something that you are starting to see in a different light now, like we've been picking up, right? You're starting to see them for who they really are. What do we have at the crown, please? Okay, so I just got the Nine of Wands flip over in my hand, and then the moon also flipped around on the bottom of the deck here. So that's two moons. All right. Now, this is really doubling down on you seeing this energy for who they really are now, right? It's the truth is being illuminated to you. But Nine of Wands is the result, which is an energy of maintaining some sort of boundary with this energy. Taurus, I feel that this exercise here, okay, that's the way they wanted me to put it, is also being used to test your faith. Because I feel that where you're going on the other side of this, it's just you and spirit. It's just you and God. It's just you and the divine. It's like the divine saying to you, hey, do you trust us or not? Okay? Because if you really want this, we can make it happen. But you got to be all in, okay? None of this lukewarm sort of approach. I feel that you're getting ready to manifest something quite beautiful into your life, Taurus. And I say that because it feels very divinely guided. It feels very connected to source. It feels like it matters. Now, these tests, of course, they can always be frustrating, but I promise you that you will get on the other side of this and look back and be grateful that it happened. There is never a time when the universe is working against you. Never. The universe is always working in your favor. It's us that sometimes wander off the path that the divine intended for us to go down. We find ourselves in a heavily wooded region in the darkness. We've completely lost our way. And then spirit comes into our life and helps get us out of that space. But who knows what kind of terrain they have to guide you over to get out of there. Now, you're either going to understand what I'm saying there, Taurus, or you're not. You understand, then this reading's for you. If you don't, then the reading's probably not for you, okay? But there's a depth here. And then right on the bottom of this deck, we have the star card again, but this star card is different from the one that we saw on the bottom of, I think it was this deck. I have 3 decks in the top row. 1, 2, 3. This star card is like star in reverse, right? Whenever I see this little demon, it's like you're saying, all right, Taurus, go ahead and hand over that purpose to me. You won't be in that, right? So there's that energy of coveting. There's that entity that's trying to shift the power dynamic in their favor. There's that energy that is trying to take something that is yours, right? What do we have at the foundation, please, Spirit? Wow. And I also had that one flip over. So we're going to take that too. Knight of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy at the foundation of the reading. And this adds another layer to that message that we got with that star card just then. Because this Knight of Swords here is an energy that is actually doing this deliberately. They know what they're doing. It's an energy that's very calculated. So I think at some point earlier on in the reading, I might have said something about them not knowing what they're doing, but this is telling us that they do, okay? So we've just gotten a confirmation that this is all being done by design. It's right underneath that moon. This is what's being illuminated to you. And again, Taurus, this is something that I feel a lot of you were allowing to happen because you didn't know any better. Because maybe you wanted to see the good in them, even though they showed you time and time again who they really were. It says a lot about your character, though, Taurus. I feel that you always try to see the best in people, and a lot of the time they don't even deserve it. But it also tells me that you're not bitter, right? A lot of people, when they go through these sorts of situations, it can cause them to become bitter and close off. I don't get that from you. And that's a good way to be, because it's not beneficial to you to punish someone for what another individual may have done to you, right? You understand very clearly that this is just how the world works. We're just all trying to navigate the rough waters and the difficulties and the constant chaos that seems to be our lives at this current time in history. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot of desperate people out there. It can lead people to shut down, kind of give up. You know, but you got to always stay in the fight no matter what. And if we were going to extract a solid message from this reading thus far, it would be just that. No matter what, don't give up. Just keep going, keep fighting. Eventually you'll get the breakthrough and you'll position yourself to allow the divine to make a positive example out of you. I'm getting something here, Taurus, surrounding what you're doing being a success story. So when you think about what success stories are made out of, it makes this make sense, right? You get on the other side and you realize that you had to go through all of this to have that success story. It couldn't have happened any other way. And then we get the 8 of Wands stacked with the 8 of Wands, okay? So, again, a lot of Sag energy. Sag, 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 okay? But this 8 of Wands is different than this 8 of Wands here. This one's all about movement, action, downloads that I feel you're getting from the divine, messages, things like this. This is the complete opposite. It's an energy of delays and frustrations. And it also speaks about taking missteps. Maybe you're starting to realize that somebody is just not who you thought they were. Or maybe they're not who you wanted them to be. I feel like that's more of what it is. You may have a moment where you get a bit hard on yourself, like you've just wasted all this time, all this effort for nothing. But you have to remember, it wasn't for nothing because you've improved your skills, right? Don't allow frustration of dealing with this situation to not see that clearly. Remember, the divine used them in your favor, not the other way around. What do we have? The solar plexus? Wow, there it is. So it actually came out. So I automatically read these cards as reversals, but I put them on the table as upright. So we just saw the star card, right? Go ahead and hand over that purpose to me, Taurus. You won't be needing that. This energy was trying to sabotage you. This energy was trying to pull the rug out from underneath you when you least expected it. This energy was going to use you to launch themselves off of and then leave you in the dust. This energy posed as somebody who was maybe your friend, cared about you, a loving partner, a coworker, take it as it fits, but there was an ulterior motive all along. And I think for you, Taurus, that's probably the hardest thing to come to terms with. Maybe you thought they were your friend. It's like that part of it may be affecting you more than anything else. But I feel that your friendship was all based on what you could do for them or what they can get from you. What do we have, the heart? Seven of Cups, Jose. A leopard cannot change their spots. What it says right there, cowardly actions. This is the kind of person, depending on how it resonates for you, that will stand there and watch you do all the work and point at a spot that maybe you have missed, right? This kind of person. This could be one of these situations where you might have just been happy to have somebody on board or somebody who was interested in doing something here, which goes back to what I mentioned about your self-worth. You may have allowed this because you didn't realize how special this thing is that you have until somebody tried to take it from you. Wow. I didn't realize how special it was until somebody tried to take it from you. That is definitely one for the books, because that's what this whole entire reading is about. And the Seven of Cups is also speaking about this shifting of the goalposts. Hey, Taurus, you missed a spot. No, over there. No, over there. No, over there. No, not that spot, the other spot. No, you're not getting it. Higher, lower. To the left, to the right. But there was never any spot. And you couldn't see that because you were so close up to it. Say you're painting a wall white and you're on a ladder and you have the lights on the wall and you're painting it. It's hard to see coverage until you get down off the ladder, you shift the light back a little bit, and you see the wall from a wider perspective. Now, this just really speaks about how close you are to this thing that you are manifesting. And then here comes along this person who's standing way back there telling you what to do. But again, you allowed it because you didn't realize what you had. Five, six, Seven of Pentacles, Nimamia, discernment, perfect. So this Seven of Pentacles now is speaking about you lighting your way, right? You don't need anybody else's help. You've grown your wings and you have gained a new level of discernment. This whole situation had to go down just like this. One, it's allowing you to address some things within yourself in regards to your self-worth and just how special what you're working on is. And two, it has armed you with something. It has improved upon a certain skill set. Take it as it fits. That is absolutely necessary in order to step into this new timeline. It all had to go down just like this. And then right on the bottom of the deck, I have Temperance. So Temperance, okay? Which is just putting further emphasis around alignment and your purpose. And see how you're filling two cups up there? But it almost seems like those two cups are for you. Which tells me that you don't need anybody else to pull this off, Taurus. You are all you need to make it happen. What do we have at the throat, please? Knight of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy at the throat. Ariel. So there's this very intuitive, very artistic energy that's coming through for you now, Taurus, as you are leaving this energy behind. And you seem to be quite pleased here. It's like you're skipping around, you're very happy, and you have something in your hand. You're like, yes, look what I created. I did it. What do we have at the third eye, please? Ace of Cups. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. Nethael, God, the King of Heaven. Rejuvenation, obtains the mercy of God and gives long life. And again, see how you're holding that cup, but it almost looks like a trophy? There's this overwhelming sense of emotion coming through for you here, Taurus. I feel that this win, this breakthrough, whatever this represents for you, this is going to be a big deal for you because this is a long time coming. I just feel that so much has gone into trying to make this happen. And you've been met with all these delays and just frustrations, but it is going to come to an end. And this could also be one of these situations where you've gone through so much with it already that you are questioning your efforts, right? You're wondering, am I even supposed to be doing this? But all I can tell you is that if the divine has brought you this far, it's not because you're supposed to give up now, okay? It's because it's all supposed to be part of the story, part of your breakthrough, part of your new beginning. And then right on the bottom of the deck, we have the devil. And look, he's shuffling off, right? So it's like you have this newfound sense of self. You realize that you're good enough, that you're worthy. What do we have? The crown to close this out for Taurus, please? Wow, Taurus. Having this come out after this message that we have channeled through for you is nothing less than hitting the absolute jackpot. Ace of Pentacles, Kehathel, the adored God, divine blessings, drives away evil spirits, rules agricultural production. So this Ace of Pentacles is speaking about what you are manifesting into the world. Whatever this is going to allow you to make some sort of real world impact in your reality. And there's also financial prosperity that is attached directly to this. And it says right there, rules agricultural production. So I feel that this really speaks about this thing that you're bringing into the world. There's going to be more of it. It's just the beginning is what I'm hearing. So Taurus, in closing, don't allow whatever the situation is here to cause you to give up. Chalk it up to a lesson learned and understand that had you not had gone through this, you would not be armed with what you are now armed with, which is the whole reason why you are about to manifest this victory into your life. Taurus, this is the message that I have available to all of you, depending on where you are on this timeline, should you choose to accept. I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you would like a personal reading, you can find all of my contact details in the description below this video. And thank you for your donations, Taurus. Take care.